We are here in Magic Kingdom for Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. In this video, we're going to be covering all of the specialty food at this year's event. I'll fill you in on all of the must-try snacks and ones you should probably skip. This is the ultimate foodie guide to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. It is opening day of the Christmas party. It's a sold out night and I can't wait to try all of the holiday food. Now, all of the food that I tried tonight is gonna be exclusive to the event, meaning you can only get it with a ticket to the Christmas party. We do have a lot to try, so let's go head into Fantasyland for our first stop at Pinocchio Village House. I am really happy that I ended up coming over here to Pinocchio Village House first because they ended up opening a little bit early. Technically, the party starts at 7 o'clock and this restaurant isn't supposed to open until 7 o'clock, but they actually ended up opening at 6 o'clock. Now, there is one little thing, they don't allow mobile ordering right at 6 o'clock, so you do have to wait in the line. I waited in line, it went pretty smoothly, pretty quickly, and I have my party exclusive food before the party even starts. So this is definitely a nice little surprise. Now, with that being said, keep in mind, some of the restaurants that are open during the party are gonna be closing a little bit earlier and may not stay open for the entire length of the party. So make sure you keep an eye on that in the My Disney Experience app. If there's something you really wanna get, make sure you look at what time the restaurant closes so you do not miss it, because Pinocchio Village House does close at 9:30 tonight. That's why I kind of came over here first. And here at Pinocchio Village House, there was one thing on my list I really wanted to grab, and that is the holiday ravioli. These are fried breaded ravioli with marinara sauce, basil pesto, parmesan, and parsley. We've got a little marinara in the bottom, and the ravioli are kind of just sitting in it. There's not that much pesto on top of the ravioli here, and I am a big pesto fan, so right off the bat, I'm kind of wishing there was more pesto on here because it doesn't feel like that's going to be much of like a prominent flavor. And as I'm picking these ravioli up, I'm noticing these are like very cold, which is kind of crazy because I was probably one of the first like 15 people to get these because I was here pretty early on, but we'll try these ravioli here. They feel really crispy at least, so that's a good sign. Despite them being cold, these are very tasty. And I think the number one key element to a fried ravioli is they have to be crispy. And they definitely delivered on the crispness factor. I do wish there was more filling in these ravioli. There's not that much ricotta cheese. There could definitely be a bit more. And like I said, I could use more pesto. I like the tomato sauce underneath. It's nice and sweet. It's a good little like dip. The breadcrumbs on the outside are seasoned nice and well. The pasta inside isn't cooked too much to where it's like really mushy or anything. And I think these are a really solid savory snack. I always love when we see savory snacks at the parties because I feel like in years past, it was just a ton of sweet stuff. And I am more of a savory person. So I always like to see some savory stuff. And I think this is a really good savory snack here. I think for Halloween, they had like a truffle fried ravioli. So I hope they kind of keep up this trend of bringing in different kinds of fried raviolis with all of the different parties that they have here in Magic Kingdom because I think they're onto something. You know, I could only imagine how much better these would be if they were even warmer and that cheese inside was nice and gooey and melty, but even cold, I have to say, I am a huge fan of these ravioli. These, right off the bat, we are starting really hot. These are gonna be a contender for my favorite bite of the night. I'm a really big fan of these, and as I eat even more, I'm liking them even more. And that's cold. So again, I can't imagine if they were hot. All right, I made my way across Fantasyland to Friar's Nook, where to my surprise, they also opened a little bit early. I was able to pick up food at about 6:45, and they have a really good Christmas menu at Friar's Nook, so I got a bunch of different things. We picked up the Tots, as well as the hand pie and the pig in a blanket. And I am really excited to try this hand pie here because during the Halloween party, the buffalo chicken hand pie from the Friar's Nook is excellent. So I expect this one to be really good too. This is the spinach artichoke hand pie. It's a flaky hand pie filled with cheesy spinach artichoke dip and drizzled with red pepper sauce. I mean, doesn't that just sound amazing? And I'm a big fan of the amount of green onions on this hand pie here. Huge fan of spinach artichoke dip as well. So this sounds delicious to me. This red pepper sauce on here just looks a lot like buffalo sauce. So yeah, this should be great. I want to break it in half here to see the inside. Oh, it's a thick spinach artichoke dip there. You know, I was kind of hoping that when I broke into this, the filling would ooze out of it like a good creamy spinach artichoke dip, but that doesn't seem to be the case. But let's dig into it and see how it tastes. You know why I feel like it didn't really ooze out of the wrapper? Because there's not a lot of cheese in this spinach artichoke dip. Like usually a spinach artichoke dip is like a little runny and cheesy and ooey gooey. That's not really what you're getting with this spinach artichoke dip. I was kind of just like chewing on artichokes, which I don't really mind, but I would have preferred if it was like that creamy artichoke spinach dip. I think that would have been a little bit better. So is it bad? No, because this dough is so good. I like the sauce a lot too, although it's not spicy. So like if you're worried about spice, that's not gonna do it. The green onions on here are a really nice fresh touch, but if this was creamy, this would be a absolute home run. It's still okay, but just because it's pretty much just artichokes in here, I probably wouldn't go for it again. But it has so much potential because it sounds amazing, but it's just not creamy and cheesy enough like the spinach artichoke dip should be. All right, let's move on to these jalapeno popper tots. These are topped with a jalapeno cream cheese sauce, bacon, cheddar, and a jalapeno popper. These tots are definitely loaded, and there are a ton of extra peppers on there, which I love a spice, so this should be really good here. This jalapeno popper is the same jalapeno popper that they serve over at Westward Ho in Frontierland during the day. These look fairly good as well. I hope this cheese sauce, this jalapeno cream cheese sauce is good. I'm gonna try and get a bite with a little bit of everything on here. There's not much of that cheese sauce, I will say. The tots are crispy, the toppings on here are good, but there's just not enough of them. I tried to find a tot, I was digging around for a tot to try and get one with a lot of that jalapeno cream cheese sauce, and it took me a while to find one with a lot of that sauce on it because there's really just not a lot of that cheese sauce on here. I'm gonna end up eating a lot of these tots just dry because a lot of them are just like, literally, you pick them up and like, this is how much topping there is. And this is like 90% of the tots in this bowl here. It's a big portion. It just, for the portion of tots, it needs way more toppings on here. So I don't know if they were just like light-handed on the toppings today and it'll increase as time goes on, because I think the flavors on here are really good, like I said, but I just need way more of those flavors. This jalapeno popper. Oh. Why do I feel like every cheesy thing that I'm supposed to be getting tonight is like not cheesy and it's just like hard cheese? Everything's supposed to be like gooey cheese and it's just like hard brick cheese. I just want something cheesy, guys. But yeah, I mean, it's good. It's a good portion, like I said, but I just need a little bit more cheese sauce. Our final bite from Friar's Nook is going to be the pig in a blanket, which is a Parmesan puff pastry wrapped all beef hot dog with crispy onions and a honey mustard barbecue sauce served with tots. Let me tell you, this is one thick hot dog. They give you that barbecue sauce on the side here. I feel like it would have been better if they drizzled it on the top because the crispy onions that they put on top don't really have anything to stick to, but I guess it is good for people that might not like this sauce here. It's a mustard barbecue sauce. It really looks exactly like a Carolina barbecue sauce, which is actually probably my favorite kind of barbecue sauce. And this looks really good. Look at the cheese kind of just like oozing out of the side there. And the dog is like well done, which is my preferred method of cooking a hot dog. Let's dip it in the sauce. Oh, the onions are just flying off. You see that, guys? The onions are going everywhere. They can't stay on. I really like this hot dog here. Is it just a tiny bit basic? Yes, but I feel like they've put enough of an innovative twist on it to make it a little bit more than basic. The Parmesan on here is really good. It makes it just like a little bit cheesy, and I love this dipping sauce. But I'm a big fan of like a mustard barbecue sauce, so there's no surprise there. Like I said, the dog is nice and thick. It's like the typical hot dog that you get in the parks, and I like the hot dogs that they have around here. And the puff pastry is really good. Buttery, flaky. I think this is really good. Like, if I'm gonna come here and get a hot dog during the party, this is gonna be the hot dog I'm gonna get. The only thing, like I said, is I wish they drizzled the sauce on the top so the onions stick, because you gotta go for a dunk in the sauce and then like go back and pick up some of the onions if you can, because they're not, there we go. They're not really able to stay on there any other way, but this is really good. I like this a lot. This is gonna be another probably top bite so far. One of my favorite things I've eaten so far today. We're still very early on, but yeah, I really like this one here. Here at the Adventureland spring roll cart, you could find a party exclusive spring roll. It is pastrami Ruben flavored, and it's served with a Thousand Island sauce. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they had a flavor like this, or at least similar, at some point in the past couple of years, or years ago at least. And there's not really a description on this telling us what is inside, so we're gonna break it open and we're gonna find out together. I don't know if there's like some sauerkraut, some Swiss cheese. I'm assuming that's what's gonna be inside here. What's it looking like, guys? We're gonna have to take a bite here to find out. Oh, that's really tasty. Definitely a little bit of kraut, a little bit of Swiss cheese, actually a good amount of Swiss cheese, and also a good amount of meat. There is a decent amount of pastrami in here. It is very meaty. I like a pastrami sandwich with like some mustard, so I wish they had some mustard to go with this. I think that would pair really nicely, but surprisingly, this is like a really good spring roll flavor. I wasn't sure how it would fare in a spring roll, but it actually tastes really good. The sauerkraut flavor isn't super strong if you were worried about that. I could use even a little bit more because I love sauerkraut. But yeah, all of these flavors work together really nicely in that crispy wrapper. It's really greasy, so definitely grab some napkins. I forgot some, so I'm gonna have to go back and grab some, but this works really well. Is it better than the cheeseburger? No. But it's really good, and it's better than the Halloween one that they had last, the spicy pork one, and you can mix and match these. So they have the cheeseburger. They did have some pepperoni pizza ones there as well. So if you want to get like one pastrami and one cheeseburger, or one pastrami and one pepperoni pizza, you are able to do that, or you could just get the two pastrami ones like I did. But these ones are good here. We have finally made it to the other side of the park, Tomorrowland, and we are finally gonna get our first sweet treat of the evening from Aunty Gravities. Here they have a milk and cookies shake. This is a vanilla shake with caramel, holiday cookies, and chocolate chip cookie dough topped with whipped cream and festive sprinkles. Now, from the looks of it, this doesn't have any of the cookies mixed in. I thought it would because it says topped with whipped cream and festive sprinkles. It doesn't say topped with cookies. So I thought some of the cookies and stuff would be mixed in, but now as I'm seeing it, I'm thinking it's just a plain old vanilla milkshake with a couple of Oreo crumbs and a couple of pieces of cookie dough on top. Let's see. That is definitely the case. I really wish the Oreos were mixed in here, almost like a McFlurry or from Twisty Treat when you get one of those twirls. I love the ice cream kind of mixed in with some of the toppings. I think it works texturally and it makes the flavor so much better, because otherwise this is just like a vanilla milkshake. And it's a good vanilla milkshake, like it tastes good, but it's not giving the milk and cookies that I wanted it to. I wanted a cookies and cream, a cookie dough milkshake, and it just tastes like a plain old vanilla milkshake. There's like three little tiny pieces of cookie dough on here. And that's it. I mean, if you're in the mood for a vanilla milkshake, this will do the trick, but I feel like they need to mix the toppings in here, and then we'd be talking. Then we'd have a really good treat on our hands, but it's just a vanilla shake. After that milkshake, there is another drink to grab here in Tomorrowland, and Magic Kingdom's newest snack stand, AstroFizz, is getting in on the Christmas action. Here at AstroFizz, you can find the cherry white chocolate slushy. This is Fanta cherry served in a crackable white chocolate coated cup with whipped cream, cherry gummy candy, and festive sprinkles. Okay, Disney, this is so trendy of them. I actually like this, and it looks a lot better than I was expecting. So the cup is like a hard white chocolate, and then we have to crack it, and I don't think it's going to do much for the flavor, but it's just like for the aesthetic of everything. I had a drink similar to this at H Mart, and it's just like fun and cool looking. So let's crack our cup. ASMR. Some cherry Slushy, AstroFizz ASMR. Okay. That crack was actually so satisfying. I haven't even tried this and I like it. I am like shook right now, but this looks good. This looks on point. At the end of the day, does it just taste like a cherry slushy? Yes, but presentation, 10 out of 10. And the fact that Disney like actually participated in a trend, I'm shook. I love it. I think this is a lot of fun. Kids are gonna love this. And if you're someone that like is addicted to TikTok like myself, you've probably seen stuff like this on TikTok. So this might be a fun one for like the kids to get, or you yourself, if you watch a lot of TikToks like me, you might wanna get this. This is redemption for the cherry Coke churro that they have at AstroFizz that I tried the other day, and it was abysmal. This makes up for it here. This is a lot of fun. I like this a lot. We do have one final stop in Tomorrowland, and that is going to be at Cosmic Rays. A lot of the menu here is the same that it's been for a couple years prior, but there is one new thing on the menu that stood out to me, and that is the snow cheese chicken strips. These are dusted with a sweet and savory white cheddar powder and served with a side of kimchi aioli. Disney World is in their chicken tender era right now. And I love that they have a specialty chicken tender flavor exclusive to the Christmas party. Now, I had a cheesy powdered chicken like this once before, and I don't remember being the biggest fan of it, but I wanted to give it another chance. I had it at this place called BB.Q Chicken. It's a Korean fried chicken restaurant. Their chicken is fantastic. But I wasn't the biggest fan of this flavor because the sweet with the cheese was throwing me off a little bit. But we'll see how Disney does it here. I love a Disney tender. We've got their regular tenders here, just coated in that cheesy powder. And I'm glad I tried this because I actually like this a lot more than I remember liking it. The flavor is more subtle in the sweetness. I feel like last time I tried it, it was way sweeter. So that's why I probably like this a little bit more. The cheese itself almost tastes like a white cheddar. I'd say like the Annie's white cheddar shells powder, but just like a little sweeter. With that being said, I don't think I could eat 4 whole tenders coated in this powder here. I just think it would get too repetitive and I would get sick of this. So if I wanted to get this again, I would probably split it with someone else. I don't think I could do 4 whole tenders. 1 or 2 is plenty for me. If I were to just get this myself, I think I'd just prefer regular tenders, or currently they have really good buffalo tenders in there, but I could not eat 4 whole tenders coated in this powder. It's just, it would get a little bit too repetitive. Now it comes with a side, you get fries or cuties, or you could upgrade to their truffle fries, but like I said, I'm glad I tried it out because it is a lot better than I remember from the last time I tried this little cheesy powder. We're making our way back to Main Street for our last couple of treats, and I want to make a stop at the Plaza ice cream parlor for the Santa Hat Brownie Sundae. This is a brownie topped with vanilla ice cream, hot fudge, crushed peppermint whipped cream, and a red velvet cone with a marshmallow pom-pom. The Plaza has changed up their sundae this year. They always used to have a peppermint sundae. I mean, this is kind of similar, but the ice cream on their brownie sundae always used to be peppermint flavor, and I always used to really love it. Now we've just got vanilla with the like little candy cane pieces, but still, this looks great, and it looks really cute as well with this red velvet cone. I love that they actually made it red velvet flavor, and they didn't just put like red food dye in and just make it like a red waffle cone. It should actually have some red velvet flavor, so you'll love to see it. I could feel that hot fudge is nice and warm. I'm excited for this one. We haven't really had that many sweet treats in general. This hopefully is one of our better ones. This is how you do a topping. This is the first thing we've eaten today where there's actually enough of a topping. There are so many little candy cane pieces in here that even though it's vanilla ice cream, you could actually like taste the pepperminty flavor throughout, and I really appreciate that. This sundae here is absolutely massive. It is so huge. The brownie's big. There's a ton of hot fudge, a ton of ice cream, a ton of whipped cream, and this waffle cone itself is very large too. I really thought I was gonna miss that peppermint ice cream, and although I do think it would be better with that peppermint ice cream because it was always so good at the Plaza, since there are so many little candy cane pieces, I actually think this is like really, really good. And it's a hot fudge sundae on a brownie. What's not to love there? I mean, we've got our red velvet Santa hat cone. I love this treat. I think it's really good. And at $7.99, I also think this is a fantastic value. I wish they had this one during the day as well. This is a party exclusive treat. This would be perfect to get while you're walking around the park too. You can only get it during the party, but it's very good. I would definitely recommend this. Our final stop of the evening is gonna be at Casey's Corner. They're doing pot roast a bunch of different ways. You could get pot roast on top of corn dog nuggets, on top of a regular hot dog, or on top of fries. The pot roast corn dog nuggets sound the most interesting to me, so I think we're gonna pick them up, and we have to end with a little dessert too. All right, we've picked up both of our foods, and I wanna start with these holiday pot roast mini corn dogs. These are topped with pot roast, beer cheese sauce, crispy onions, and a horseradish mustard. And let me just tell you, there are so many wet toppings on this. This little boat here is just slowly collapsing. It cannot handle all of these toppings here. I don't know how much pot roast is on here, but there's a lot of cheese and there's a lot of that horseradish mustard here. I want to grab some of that pot roast though for sure, and some of those onions. Hopefully it didn't make these corn dogs soggy. Surprisingly, the corn dogs stayed pretty crispy, which I was not expecting given the amount of wet toppings on here. The first thing I tasted was that horseradish. It's not really tasting like a horseradish mustard. It just tastes like a horseradish sauce, and it's very strong horseradish flavor. And I actually like that because I like horseradish a lot. This pot roast here, the pot roast is actually very tasty, tender, flavorful. It has a strong brown gravy flavor, which I like. Does it work on corn dog nuggets? That's up for debate. Like I said, you could also get this on a hot dog. I think it would be best on the fries. I definitely think all these toppings here sound like they would be better with some French fries. But on these corn dogs, it's okay. If I were to get them again, I'd definitely go French fries because with like the sweet cornbread batter, it is a bit of a weird combo. This corn dog here though is just loaded with beer cheese, and I usually like dunking my corn dog nuggets in just like the plastic cheese sauce that they have at Casey's, so I feel like there's gonna be like an upgraded cheese dunk. Our final food of the evening is gonna be this dessert, this candy cane tart. This is a chocolate tart filled with peppermint ganache and topped with a festive meringue. Now, all of the food that I tried in tonight's video was new to the party as of this year. This is the only thing that I'm trying that has been around previous years. And I've always been interested in trying it. I've just like never gotten around to trying it somehow, but this is the year. Finally try this little peppermint dessert here. I cut it in half and there is a really thick fudgy ganache in the center. I already know my mom would love this. I wish I could bring her one of these out because this is just right up her alley, but let's dive in to this little peppermint tart here. I am super picky about mint and peppermint desserts, and this knocks it out of the park. I could see why they bring it back every year. Now I'm mad at myself that this is my first year getting this. This is phenomenal. The shell on the outside almost tastes like a little bit like an Oreo, like a crunchy chocolate cookie. That filling on the inside, a little minty, but so fudgy. Oh my gosh. It is like the richest dark chocolate, and it is so good. Where minty desserts lose me sometimes is that they're so minty that it tastes like toothpaste, and I always need a rich dark chocolate to pair with it to kind of cut that mint level, and this does just that. It is so good. This is hands down the best dessert, the best tasting dessert that we have tried this evening, but man, I need some water after this. It's a lot. Well, we are another Christmas party down, and before I leave tonight, I want to go over some of my favorite things that I ate tonight and some of my least favorite things that I ate tonight. And for the best things that I ate tonight, I am considering these things that I would definitely get again if I came back to another Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party this year. Starting off with that fried ravioli, I really liked them. Like I said, they were just a little bit cold, but I have faith that if I got them a second time, they would be hot and fresh, but they were crispy and really tasty. That pig in a blanket from Friar's Nook was really good as well. I would definitely get that again. It was like a hot dog in a puff pastry, a little bit cheesy, and I really liked that Carolina mustard barbecue sauce. And then we'll close it out with that candy cane tart, the final thing that we ate this evening from Casey's Corner. Really good, fudgy, minty. If you are a mint person, it is a must try for sure. As for the worst stuff, I gotta say, at these holiday parties, usually stuff is a lot worse. Usually I find things that are really not great, but tonight there really weren't things that were truly awful like there usually are. So this worst list is just things that I definitely would not get again if I came back. Starting with that milk and cookies shake, it was really basic. It truly was just a vanilla milkshake that you could really get anywhere. It wasn't anything special. I also would not get those pot roast corn dog nuggets again, and that is because I would get the fries instead. I just don't think it worked with the corn dog nuggets, but the toppings themselves were really good, so it'd be good on the fries. And I also would not get that spinach artichoke hand pie again. I like the concept. Ideally, it sounds really good, and the crust was delicious. However, that filling just didn't do it for me. It needed to be creamier, it needed to be cheesier, and it just way too many artichokes and too many crunchy artichokes, I guess. As for Christmas videos, I have a lot coming your way. I'll be coming back to Magic Kingdom very soon to cover all of the Christmas food that you could get here in the park without a ticket to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. And tomorrow, the day that this video is actually coming out, I will be at Jollywood Nights, so keep an eye out for those videos as well. For now, thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Thank you to everyone over on Patreon. I appreciate your support. I hope everyone has a very Merry Christmas, and if you're coming to the party, I hope you have a great time and a ton of good eats. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.